Hello and welcome to episode 9 of our Aston Martin save, and we start with Fernando Alonso, obviously transferring to Aston Martin in real life. We've done some detailed scouting on him now. We're just about to send a scout to do that. Have a look at what his contract negotiations, what his demands would be for us. He's open to negotiation. He's got very high patience for negotiation. He could be the #1 driver next season. So Fernando Alonso, we're going to start scouting some senior drivers now, because I think possibly both drivers won't be here next season. Just a quick one. There's not too much on the development side of either the operations or the car going on before this Canadian Grand Prix. But just a quick update, we've got the design centre upgrading in 3 days, the wind tunnel upgrading in 10, factory upgrading in 12, and hospitality area upgrading in 20. So off the track, we are making improvements, but just not quite yet. And all those wind tunnel hours and engineering hours have all been used up, so we can't do anything until a couple of weeks' time when we can start developing again. So that's just a quick update on things off the track. And as we've said, it's the Canadian Grand Prix, so it's the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve. Car attributes, I can't see this being a good one for us. Acceleration, we are good at low speed cornering, so that is one positive. But the rest, I think this is going to be a really tough circuit for us. Expected strategy is a one-stop, medium onto hard. Soft onto hard is also an option, or there is a two-stop, medium, hard and soft. But we'll have to see whether the weather plays a part in it. But I'm not expecting a fantastic weekend. But there is a bit of rain on Friday. Saturday, a little bit of rain in the air as well, but Sunday's looking completely dry. We'll have to see how we go.
One is back in Montreal. Let's hope it's not going to be Groundhog Day. The local rodents have disrupted more than one race day here in the past. The Canadian Grand Prix is ready to kick off, and the only drama on the tracks we want to see is the best drivers in the world battling it out for a place on that podium. Gilles Villeneuve is a quick, free-flowing circuit in parts, with a stop-start aspect thrown in for good measure around the chicanes and hairpin bends. Medium-speed downforce will play a large part in avoiding the wall of champions and ensuring success at this iconic track. We're about halfway through the season now, and there's still plenty of time for everything to change. All eyes are on the teams and how they tackle the rest of the year. Stay right here, because we're just getting started.
Multi-car crash in practice. Here's the Williams and the AlphaTauri. Oh, just locks up and sends Albon very much into the wall. So that's Alex Albon. That's going to cost Williams a few quid as well. So disappointing time for Williams. So this is it. Both our guys starting their one and only flying lap in qualifying. And the reason I've done it is I've tried to save a set of soft tyres for the race, an extra set of softs. In fairness, we aren't going to really get through to Q2 here, so I thought, why not give ourselves a bit more of an advantage on the Sunday rather than in qualifying. But we'll see where we end up. I expect us to beat the Williams, of course. That is where we are. We comfortably beat the Williams most weekends. We have a bit of a scrap with a Haas or an AlphaTauri now and again. But we're going to have to see if we can pull something out of the bag here. Like I said, this is the first run both our guys have been on. Hopefully Lance Stroll can pick up a bit of a slipstream here. We can see Sebastian Vettel's the first one out. It's going to be interesting to see if we can get one of our guys into Q2. Like I said, I'm not too hopeful, but I'm planning to go a bit more aggressive on Sunday with the strategy. So that's the plan. We did a two-stop with Lance Stroll at the last race, and it possibly could have worked, but Lance didn't quite get past the cars needed to when he needed to. And I'm hoping that this little gamble will pay off. We've nothing to lose at this stage. Our car is very much the second worst on the grid. But as Sebastian Vettel comes through the final chicane, past the wall of champions, we've had a few crashes in the practice sessions as well. Our guys fortunately weren't one of them. Sebastian Vettel goes P16 and Lance Stroll P17 at this moment in time. Mick Schumacher and both Williams are yet to cross the line, so we'll see where those two guys end up. It's a bit sickening, but like I said, 16th and 17th is about where we are. If Mick Schumacher doesn't improve, which I'm very much expecting him to. We might just fast forward it on a little bit so we can see where Mick Schumacher does end up. Latifi and Albon. Mick Schumacher does stay behind our two guys. So we have beat a Haas. We've beat a Haas. Let's take the positives and let's have a look at some strategies for Sunday. Right then, we are splitting the strategies. Sebastian Vettel is on a very aggressive two-stop. He's going to be starting in P15 after a grid penalty for Yuki Tsunoda. He's on full attack mode. Get off the start as quick as we possibly can. Let's try and make some positions up. Then we'll pit onto the mediums and then we'll go again on the attacking strategy at the end on the soft compounder tyre. Lance Stroll is on the softs to the hard. We'll see how things go. We'll monitor it, but it just gives us a different option with both drivers. So let's see what we can do at the Canadian Grand Prix.
It's a somewhat overcast day for the drivers, who've now taken position on the grid. And there's Sebastian Vettel. Slower than most yesterday, so today they'll be starting from the bottom half of the grid. There's Lance Stroll, down the grid. With their starting position in the back 10, they'll have their work cut out for them. The teams are ready to go.
Great eyebrows, by the way.
The drivers are ready and raring to go. It's the Canadian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And away we go, and we're straight away going to ride on board with Sebastian Vettel on that soft compounder tyre on full attack mode. We're hoping that Sebastian's going to be our main man this afternoon in Canada.
That's it.
And Sebastian is already past Danny Ricciardo, and he's eyeing up for Alfa Romeo as well. Got to say, I were eyeing up an Alfa Romeo earlier on in the year, but decided to go for a Mercedes instead. But there we go. Sebastian Vettel has made a decent start. Same can't be said for Lance Stroll, who is a little bit further back. If we flick back to Lance Stroll, he's lost the position already to Yuki Tsunoda by the looks of things. So not the best of starts for Lance Stroll, but it's all full attack mode with Sebastian Vettel at this moment in time. Use those tyres. That extra pit stop might kill us, don't get me wrong, but I'm hoping he's going to be on the faster compounder tyre for quite a bit of this race. But saying that, if we have a look round us, we've got a couple of guys on softer shows on the soft compound, as is Russell. Stroll really needs to be making some moves, I would suggest, early doors here. But we'll see what Lance Stroll can do. He should naturally be quicker than the two guys in front of him, but at this moment in time, doesn't seem to be showing that kind of pace. But early goes, lap 1, Sebastian Vettel, P14. Can't be too much to be grumbled at. Meanwhile, at the front is Max Verstappen. Leclerc looking to make a move, doesn't quite do it. Gasly again. Pierre Gasly's come alive in this last few episodes. Gasly's in third at the moment. Perez 4th. Sainz in 5th. Hamilton, Bottas. Alonso, the man we're scouting at the moment, in P8. Ocon, his teammate, in 9th. Lando Norris makes up the top 10. So lap 2, that's how things stand. Lap 5, Lance Stroll making moves on Danny Ricciardo. Lovely move from Lance Stroll. On the outside, switch back, and then Danny Ricciardo's not got the answer, I don't believe. So Lance Stroll doing some nice work there on that soft compounder tyre, starting to make a few moves. Meanwhile, if we keep an eye on things, our guys enjoyed that. They're going to enjoy this. Yes, they always enjoy it. Good lads, good lads. If we have a look, Verstappen still leads from Leclerc. Pierre Gasly's dropped back 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds now to Leclerc in second. Perez, Sainz, Hamilton, Bottas, Ocon, Alonso, Magnussen makes up the top 10. Lando Norris dropping to 11th. Meanwhile, Sebastian Vettel at the back is in this train of cars that's all stuck in this DRS train at the moment in time. Lance Stroll's going to be a little bit vulnerable because he's got a couple of seconds to make up. But I'm hoping Sebastian can make a move. But an early pit stop onto a fresher stop the compounder tyre as well might work for Sebastian. Lance Stroll, I'm hoping, will catch this train very shortly. He's very much pushing on the fuel. He's got a lot of fuel to get rid of as well as Lance Stroll, so I'm not quite sure why he's got that much fuel to get rid of, but we'll see if he can burn it off in the next few laps. Huge crash by the looks of things. Let's have a quick look at how this panned out. I did not see it live. I was too busy watching Lance Stroll. And what have we got here? George Russell. Oh, gets took out by an Alfa Romeo. And I'm guessing it's just those two that's out. That looks like he might bring out a safety car, possibly. Oh, look at this guy here. Look at this guy on the right. He's not angry. He is just disappointed. So we've now got a safety car. At this moment in time, what are we on, lap 8? It's a bit early to be doing anything, really.
Safety car.
So we're just going to ignore it for the moment.
No DRS.
We'll carry on. This is good because this brings Lance Stroll back into play, because trust me, he really hasn't been. It's still Verstappen from Leclerc. Gasly, this will bring him back into play as well, so this is fantastic for him. So I think there's options here. Let's see how this pans out.
DRS.
Safety car is in, and look at the state of this, all bunched up. We're going to ride on board once again with Sebastian Vettel, who is now in P12. Both our guys now on push, full attack mode again, both with the tyres and the fuel. Somebody's locked up. Yellow flags at sector 1. Was that a Red Bull?
Yeah,
Max Verstappen, who was leading the race, I believe, into turn 1. Obviously not warmed his tyres up enough. And Max Verstappen in the wall. I mean, that is massively.
And it may have really hurt their overall chances.
Massively disappointing that for the Red Bull guys. And that puts Sebastian Vettel now up into P11. Which is begging the question, do we stick with this reasonably risky two-stop that we're planning to go on to, or...
Okay, energy's good. Okay.
Or do we switch to a one-stop in the hope that one of these guys makes a mistake? Do we stick with his guns? I think there's an option there, depending on how far these tyres go. We're planning to pit quite shortly. We're planning to pit in around 6 laps' time. But what can Sebastian do? Like I say, all the guys are bunched up here. But Max Verstappen's going to be coming back through that pack, definitely. We might have missed a trick with putting Lance Stroll on towards, but we'll see how this progresses. Like I said, both guys now really powering on fuel. We've got no reason to try and fuel save anymore, so let's see how this progresses. Big decisions are having to be made here on the fly. Sebastian Vettel is still doing a fantastic job. He's attacking Kevin Magnussen. My thought process is at this moment in time, he's in this DRS train. Is there a reason to take him out in it and risk a two-stop? I don't think we're going to be able to claw the time back at this moment in time. The reasonable thing to do would possibly to try Lance Stroll on a two-stop. He's currently running in P13, so just something a little bit different. That might be the idea, but at this moment in time, Sebastian's just keeping up with his train. He's attacking Kevin Magnussen. I think the realistic thing to do would to not be to jeopardise this. We're in P11 at the moment. There's been quite a few crashes and anything could happen with these guys in front of us. So I don't think there is a need to jeopardise what we're doing at this moment in time. And like I said, Lance Stroll's doing a fantastic job as well. So we're just going to see how this plays out on the next couple of laps. I'm reluctant to bring him in at this moment in time. I don't feel there's a need to bring him in. And if we stick to the standard strategy, there might be a chance of points where if we swap it, we might be dead last. So at this moment, we're going to leave things be, see how things continue and go from there. This could be huge, absolutely huge. We've just had a car spin. I believe it was Fernando Alonso who was heading this sort of DRS train that we were involved in. I was hoping it was going to bring out a safety car because that would have played beautifully into our hands. Sebastian Vettel's had the pace and so has Lance Stroll. We've been stuck in this DRS train, but these two guys are dragging us along, although Sebastian now has lost DRS due to Alonso. I'm wondering, could we get Sebastian in at this moment? Nah. I think that might be a good time. Sebastian is coming in. Pit options. We're going to get Sebastian onto the hard compound tyre. Pit this lap for Sebastian. And I think he's missed his chance. He's got held up by... Oh, yeah, that's fine, that's fine. He did get... I would hoping it might have been a bit too late to get Sebastian in that lap. But I think we'll get Sebastian in this one and then we'll get Lance in the next one. So here we go then, first pit stop, and Sebastian should be coming in, he is. Sebastian's in and he's followed Kevin Magnussen in, so that might give a nice bit of DRS on the way around as well to be towed along. Meanwhile, Lance Stroll doing a fantastic job, currently only a 10th behind Lando Norris. And I would hesitate to say, Lando Norris is on the medium compound tyre, Lance Stroll all over the back of him. We might take a bit more time at this moment in time with Lance Stroll. If we have a look at Lando Norris's last lap time, 1:18.7. Looking down, we are not losing too much time to these guys. Tsunoda 1:18.2, maybe half a second. Bottas 1:19s, Ricciardo 1:19s. And these guys I'm getting on the hard compounded tyre. So might be a little bit more movement in Lance Stroll's strategy this afternoon, but whereas Sebastian Vettel come out, he's come out on the hard compounded tyre and he's come out in front of Kevin Magnussen. So something obviously went really well at that pit stop. I will now keep an eye on Lance Stroll and what he manages to do, but currently running P6 but with a pit stop to make. Let's have a look at Lance Stroll on very worn soft compound tyres, overtaking Lando Norris. Beautiful work from Lance Stroll, who was struggling early doors but seems to have really come into it this last few laps.
And with that, they've gained a position.
It's been fantastic, and now he is going to be coming in for his pit stop. Yes, guys.
Really loving that.
Loving life in the Aston Martin garage this afternoon. I was a bit pessimistic before this Grand Prix, but Lance Stroll at his home Grand Prix knows how to drive this circuit. And Lance Stroll is going to be pitting this lap. And there's a bit of a glitch there because it's showing that he's on the hard compounded tyre. Meanwhile, Sebastian Vettel's just lost a place to Yuki Tsunoda, but that might not be worse thing it will. But we're going to keep with Lance Stroll and see where he comes out. Let's ride on board with Lance. Home Grand Prix, as I say, could he win a point at his home Grand Prix? He's going to be on the fresher hard compound. And where's he going to filter back in? Is he going to filter in behind Sebastian? Or what we got in front of us here? We've got Tsunoda and Vettel's past him. So Lance Stroll lost a little bit of time there. Battling with Lando, and he's now what? Oh, he's not. He's come out in front. Sorry, he's come out in front of Sebastian Vettel. So Sebastian Vettel's actually lost time. Sebastian Vettel's got a little bit of work to do, but Lance Stroll now running in 12th place. Might be time to get excited. Sebastian Vettel has just overtaken Yuki Tsunoda. Lovely move here into turn 1. In fact, he got it done well before turn 1, and as you can see, Lance Stroll is the car in front of him now, so that DRS. And there they go, moving up a position. Both our guys have now made the pit stop. Again, much more to cheer in the Aston Martin garage, which is fantastic. But in the greater scheme of things, Russell and Ricciardo are both yet to pit. So we're going to go up to 10th and 11th here. We only need a bit of a calamity in front of us, and job would be a good. And meanwhile, Lando Norris as well. He's far from out of sight here because he's not pit either. So a lot of work to be done here. What we don't need to do at this moment in time is let our guys squabble. And Sebastian Vettel is going to be told not to fight his teammate. The ideal here is not to be squabbling. Lance Stroll has got the pace. Stick with it, Lance. And we'll come back to when Ricciardo and Russell pit, and we'll see what happens and where we finish up here. We did say Lando Norris was not out of sight, and he really wasn't, because he's just come out just in front of Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll's been given the DRS to use to try and catch up to Lando Norris to get in that DRS stream. We've seen Lance Stroll have the pace to keep with Lando Norris earlier in this race, and I'm hoping that he can do the same again here. And now Sebastian Vettel is just going to follow him through, and straight away the tyre warm up on the hard compound is difficult to get done. But Lance Stroll now at the back of Lando Norris, and that's going to bring us all back into this train, led by the McLaren, who's 9 seconds to Ricciardo. Can Lance Stroll overtake him? In fact, he's going for the overtake. Lance Stroll has got the overtake done. We've seen it live, and that now means Sebastian Vettel,
You've done a good job.
Get a shift on, sunshine.
Looks like Aston Martin have just...
We very much might be on the back of a Lando Norris choo-choo train here. Sebastian Vettel has gone for the move into turn 1. Lance Stroll has just set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix as well. It's all happening here at Canada this afternoon. And Lando Norris looks slow. He's already lost the DRS of Lance Stroll. And Sebastian Vettel, we're going to ride on board with Sebastian Vettel. He's got Tsunoda coming behind him, of course, but there may be an opportunity if he doesn't get it done. Into this chicane, we're going to use the overtake and get Sebastian Vettel away, hopefully. That's the plan. Meanwhile, Lando Norris... Right, let's use the overtake here, Seb. Yes, let's use the overtake. Lando Norris is not in the DRS of Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll is running for the hills. But here goes Sebastian Vettel down the long straight. He's gone to the left-hand side. And he's breezed past him. He's absolutely breezed past him. And if we have a look behind, the best thing about this is Lando Norris is hopefully going to hold up the 2 guys behind him as well. And he's still got DRS onto this straight. Fantastic work from Sebastian Vettel. The 2 Aston Martins at this moment in time are now running P8 and P9. And Sebastian Vettel is going to be told once again, do not fight your teammate. We had to stop. We had to swap the drivers. Sebastian Vettel was losing seconds behind Lance Stroll. Seems to not have the pace on this hard compound, but it did let Yuki Tsunoda through. But hopefully Lance Stroll can still do some fantastic work behind. I still think he's got the pace. And we come back for a check-in on lap 32 because it's basically who wants to lead the pack. It's like a cycling race. It's like the Tour de France at this moment in time. We've just seen Lance Stroll again overtake Tsunoda.
They've moved up a place. Let's see what
as we can see.
Let's have a look here. This was the Aston Martin.
Start finish straight. Lance Stroll gets the job done, and then Yuki Tsunoda. Now he's going to be leading the train, and he'll be vulnerable once again. Just for a quick check-in at the front, Leclerc currently leading from Sainz, Perez, Hamilton, Ocon, Gasly's down in 6th now, Bottas, and then it's us, Stroll, Tsunoda and Vettel leading this train, but we've got a charging Max Verstappen to deal with at some point during this race. But at the moment, tyre wear's looking okay. Pretty happy with the tyre wear. We'll see how things progress. And we'll keep following this battle. Because Lance Stroll again overtaking Yuki Tsunoda, and I was just about to swap him with Sebastian Vettel because he's not shown the pace, but he's managed to get past there, which is fair play to him.
Excellent work from them.
And I think this is just going to be the run at the moment.
That was a big moment. The team are clear.
At the moment, we're in a double points finish, so we've got to be happy with this at this moment in time. But I'm hoping that we can somehow try and keep Yuki Tsunoda at bay, but I'm not quite sure how we're going to do that. Lap 40, looks like we've had a crash, and it is Carlos Sainz into turn 10, under pressure from Sergio Perez. Let's have a look what happened here. Just locks up that front right. And to be fair, he's recovered that quite well. Mind you, he's caught the barrier. Weren't the best driving that from Carlos Sainz, it must be said. But no need for a safety car, so we'll continue as we are at the moment. We are trying to swap the cars, but really struggling to do it at this moment in time. As we can see, we're on lap 41. Everything's looking pretty rosy at this moment, but we can't get Sebastian Vettel past Lance Stroll. And we've tried on multiple occasions now, but Lance Stroll's going to go for a move here, not quite manage it once again. And Sebastian is unnecessarily using ERS at this moment in time. I wonder if we're going to be able to make the switch here. We're not. And Sebastian Vettel is still P9, but Yuki Tsunoda... Well, Carlos Sainz is down to P13 now, so we're going to have a very fast Ferrari behind us. But as things stand at this moment, we are running 8th and 9th. We've got about 29 laps to go. Right, we've just seen lap 45. Lance Stroll now up to P7. And the interesting thing here is we've had a bike marker. Now, this might get Lance a little bit of time to try and get away here. Tsunoda's still very much behind, causing issues. But Sebastian Vettel's still very much within touching distance. It's just about trying to harvest some ERS, which is what we're struggling to do at this moment in time.
We just need to charge up. Copy.
We're very much pushing on the fuel. We're pretty comfortable on the fuel. That's not an issue. But again, we just haven't got the pace to hold off Yuki Tsunoda, who's just been a pain in the backside all afternoon. But at the moment, P8 and 9, double points. We're just trying to manage this effectively. Unfortunately, we had to make the change. Lance Stroll just couldn't keep pace, and now he's in danger of dropping out of the points, Lance Stroll. However, Sebastian Vettel is very much doing his utmost to catch up to Yuki Tsunoda. And the great thing about it, this has allowed us to pull out a little bit of a gap towards Kevin Magnussen of 2 seconds. So if Sebastian Vettel can get in touching distance of Yuki Tsunoda, we can look to pull away from this little train, and hopefully Lance Stroll can just hold on to the back of Kevin Magnussen. Lap 51, and it's looking pretty much done and dusted for Charles Leclerc at the front. He's 10 seconds in front of Sergio Perez. It was then 14 seconds in front of Gasly. The podium looks pretty set, apart from Lewis Hamilton. Gasly is the one at risk there. If we follow further down, Ocon, Bottas, Tsunoda, Vettel then in P8. We're just holding on to the back of Yuki Tsunoda. P8 looks pretty achievable. I reckon we could go for P7 on the last lap. In fact, Sebastian looks like he's going for a move here, which he has done. Sebastian Vettel up into P7, which is fantastic. Then Kevin Magnussen 3 seconds back crucially at this moment in time. And Lance Stroll is just holding onto the bike of Kevin Magnussen. That Haas is very quick in a straight line. Lance Stroll managing to hold off the McLaren of Lando Norris. He had the measure of him earlier on in the Grand Prix. Will he have the measure of him in the next 19 laps? We can hope so. It could be double points. We've just had the worst couple of laps I don't think we could have ever envisaged. Sebastian Vettel made a mistake, lost the DRS to Tsunoda, and then this happened to Lance Stroll. Magnussen just forces him off, and then we can't really do anything about it. And Lando Norris manages to get past him in the next corner as well. So poor couple of corners for our guys. I'm sick of saying this every episode. I'm sick of saying it. Sebastian Vettel spun again.
That's where they spin out.
He lost his pace completely. He totally lost his pace.
What a shame.
And he's just spun out. He's disappointed. I'm disappointed. But I seem to be saying this every episode, and it's starting to get a little bit boring for Sebastian Vettel. Meanwhile, Lance Stroll needs to hold on to the back of this McLaren now, because there is a Ferrari coming, and we're not very impressed with that at all. Sebastian Vettel now, P13. I'm not really sure what to say about Sebastian Vettel at this moment in time. There's a lot of things I'd like to say, but can't say it on live comms, but it's not working. Although Yuki Tsunoda just pit. Yuki Tsunoda's pit and dropped down to in around where Sebastian's going to be. So that's worked out pretty well for Lance Stroll. So maybe still points for the man at his home Grand Prix. Poor old Lance Stroll has got a McLaren, a Ferrari, and then a Red Bull behind him. If Lance Stroll manages to get points here, I'll keep him for next season, and I will make that promise now on lap 56 of the Canadian Grand Prix. Lap 58, and we just haven't got the pace to deal with these cars around us, and Max Verstappen makes one hell of a move there on Lance Stroll, who's now down to P11 from looking like a double points finish. It's looking like no points again. We could do it. I don't know. We need somebody to spin, a crash,
just what happened out there.
Anything now to try and get us a point. But so disappointing because we've just not managed it right at the right times, you would suggest. Maybe something could happen if Lance Stroll can hang on to the back of this Red Bull. Said that again in the real world. I can't see it happening. 11 laps to go. And we come back on lap 70, where Sebastian Vettel has actually managed to overtake Lance Stroll. Amazingly. So we're going to let our guys just battle it out to the finish now. Don't see any harm in that at all. Let's let our guys race. I'd rather like Lance to beat him, if I'm honest. I'd like Lance to beat him. There's no preference towards one driver. But after what I've seen from Sebastian this last few races, yeah, I'm getting a bit sick of watching him spin. Meanwhile, Charles Leclerc is very much, he's won. So Charles Leclerc's won. Perez in second, but this is looking pretty tasty. We'll go to the battle for the final podium place, as Esteban Ocon is holding off Lewis Hamilton. Will ride on board with Lewis Hamilton as he looks to get a podium here in Canada like he has so many times before. He has got the DRS. Esteban Ocon in the Alpine. Can he hold on? Lewis Hamilton into the final chicane. Can he make the overtake stick? Esteban Ocon gets the elbows out, and Esteban Ocon will finish a fantastic P3 for Alpine. That is not bad at all for Esteban Ocon. Fantastic work. Sergio Perez comes in second. Leclerc first, who said Hamilton fourth. Gasly fifth. Bottas sixth. Then comes Max Verstappen. Great recovery drive from him after that incident on the safety car. Magnussen eighth. Lando Norris in ninth. And Carlos Sainz makes up the top 10. So Silverstone up next, and to be fair, I don't think we've done too bad there. 12th and 13th is not the end of the world. The problem is we have dropped down to P9 in the Constructors, and the board are not going to be happy about that at all. But it was just another spin from Sebastian. I know they said he's done well, he recovered okay. But yeah, it's just so disappointing to end on that note. But we will see you in Silverstone for my home Grand Prix, the British Grand Prix. See you next time. Ta-ra.